Bro. And bro, Justin, I ain't trying to put you on blast, but I saw that man in tears, bro. I'm not no politician, bro. Listen to the kids, bro. I don't understand it, bro. I've been conflicted, bro. But f that, bro. I don't know what's gonna happen tonight. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, bro. We the millennials, bro.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Charles Taylor here with David Morgan, and we are coming at you with another gaming podcast.
How come you get a handle and it's my real name?
I don't know. What's your Twitter name?
David Morgan 1993.
That's why I get a cool handle and you get a Twitter name. I don't know. Why do you want it? What should your handle be?
No, I don't know. It's like you're cool and anonymous, and I'm just David Morgan.
I am anonymous. I had the Guy Fawkes poster or mask.
Yep.
And what happened to anonymous? I feel like they were a bigger deal in high school.
Well, they were until I guess they got too cool for their own britches, and everybody just kind of pieced out. I feel they still do stuff, but like it's not like the big tour de force internet phenomena that it was 6 years ago.
Yeah, I feel like in high school, like it was like every week they were taking down the Westboro Baptist Church fucking website and shit like that, and like they were cool, but like illegal kind of, but like cool. It's kind of like WikiLeaks before they decided to let Trump win.
They still do stuff. It's just like they're not trending anymore. People don't talk about it.
I don't know. You gotta step your game up, anonymous. If you're hearing us, which I'm sure you are.
Something big. Don't hack my IP though.
Anyway, so this week, kind of a light news week, I feel like, for the most part. A few announcements, nothing too major. I guess we can start it off talking about Darksiders 3, which officially got announced after it was leaked on Amazon, as coming out in 2018, and it's going to be developed by Gunfire Games, who are a lot of the ex-developers who worked on the previous Darksiders games, who were published by THQ, and then THQ went out of business. And then so the publisher that bought all of those was called Nordic Games, bought all those properties. And then they rebranded themselves THQ Nordic, which doesn't make any sense. Why would you want to rebrand yourself after a company that went under? But what is do you care about Darksiders at all, or?
I have the first one on PC. It up because I feel like every time I'm tempted to play Darksiders, it's like there's been a Zelda game that exists, and I'm like, well, I've heard it's like Zelda, just a little more edgy.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of designers it has, but I had heard, and this might just be total bullshit, that some of the designers from a Zelda game or something were involved at some point, and that's why it took so much inspiration. It just might be really inspired by Zelda, the formula, but I've never played one of the games. They looked fine. They just looked kind of like safe B-movie style games. That's just not my favorite to like put time into, because I could play like a 7 out of 10 game, or I could go and play like the new hotness coming out every month. Yeah, Darksiders was never like the big, like everybody's talking about it.
Yeah, the world never stopped for a Darksiders game or anything like that.
Correct. Yes.
So like, yeah, I'm like kind of the same, but it looks interesting. And it's also like the third one in the series. I think that both the first two are like remastered on like PS4. But
I did not know that.
But like, I don't. It's just.
I saw some gameplay for a week. Like the weapons look like they have any weight. The levels look kind of like bland.
Yeah.
Style is kind of like all over the place. Original games look like, but they were like set in like a dystopian, like urban environment. I think kind of like this one is.
Not even dystopian. It's just more like fucking post-apocalyptic kind of.
Oh, okay.
Book of Revelations kind of stuff.
I'm looking at the screenshots, and I see the screenshot of the main character, who I assume is like one of the. She's not one of the 4 horsemen.
She is, but like they made her a girl.
Okay.
but they made her a girl in like the first one.
With
It's
her
'cause, like-
cover designed armor and her
Yeah.
crazy whip, and I see an enemy, and then like look like assets that got like plopped into like the most generic looking environment known to man. Like
Yeah.
I wish that they had taken these characters and these designs and taken them to like somewhere where they could flex these, of other than mediocre looking urban environments.
Yeah, no, I totally hear you. Speaking of games, I don't really care about that much, but could care about maybe down the road. Paladins is getting an open beta on console, and that's starting to come over because this, if you don't know, is the hero shooter akin to Overwatch in a lot of ways that has gained a pretty significant following, I would say, on PC. I don't know. I'm not in the PC space as much. I don't know if you can add any context into that, but
There is zero fucking chance I'm gonna play this game. Yeah.
I'm not saying there is, but I'm saying
But
this game has a fanship. Not
I mean,
a word.
Battleborn has a fanship, but does that mean it's a successful game? No.
Like I'm saying, this game has millions of people playing it
Are
on
you sure
PC.
about that?
100%
Is
sure.
it free?
Yeah, it's free play.
Okay, well that would explain it.
Well, I don't know.
But-
I don't know how, but like, yeah, it looks like a knockoff, half-priced Overwatch.
Here's why I'm not gonna play it. Here's
Break
why
it down for
you
me.
shouldn't play it either. One, Overwatch exists,
Yeah.
so that's enough. Also, Hi-Rez is not the most trustworthy developer when it comes to long-term support for their games.
So what else have they made?
They've made Tribes, which they proceeded to kill by fucking up the item balance, making it pay to win, and just generally losing all of their good faith from the community. They made Smite, which is a third-person MOBA action game, which I've heard is pretty good. I don't know the state of it now, but I can only assume that they fucked it up somehow because I don't hear about it anymore. And then Paladins. So basically what they do, what Hi-Rez does, is they look at what's popular, and then they make a game based on that genre. And they've been doing that for like the last 2 iterations of their games at least. So I assume that they just looked at what was popular. Okay, competitive hero shooters, let's go for it, and then they made Paladins. And I don't know much about it other than, yeah, it looks a lot like Overwatch. I'm looking at one of the characters on this article, and it looks like Tracer mixed with Sombra with fucking boomerangs or something.
Boomerangs are cool.
Like, it's cool that it's free, and it's cool that people have options, if they're in a, financially tight situation or something, they have a hero shooter to play, and it's a fun genre. It's just gonna become way oversaturated soon. You're gonna have too many options with Cliff Blazinski's fucking game coming out, whatever that was called.
Oh man, oh fuck. Gun breakers, lawbreakers? Was that what it is?
I don't know.
I think it's gun breakers or lawbreakers. I can't remember.
I don't know, but this market is already pretty much cornered by Overwatch right now. I don't know what the financial ploy is for Paladins. I assume it's like, here you go. Founder packs, which unlock every champion, will be added for $19.99.
So is it?
So,
it would be kind of like
it's
in
more
Overwatch if you just
MOBA-esque.
got one of each class, and the other ones you had to buy. If I'm not,
I think Paladins
mistaken.
is more MOBA-like. It's
Okay.
more like, yeah, because especially in this, like, all the heroes aren't unlocked from the beginning, so you probably are going to have like a main more so than in Overwatch. It might not even be fair to compare them, but that's what everyone's going to do because that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like the competition is going to be.
Mhm.
I don't know. Hi-Rez can make good games. Tribes Ascension was fucking awesome until they ruined it.
Yeah.
It was like one of the biggest first-person shooters on the market. People were playing in the beta. By the time the game came out, they just stopped supporting it. They tried to patch it last year, like back to how it was before, but by that time, people just had lost interest. So it was a shame, but yeah, that game is totally dead. I assume that as soon as this stops being hyped and stops being
hotness.
financially supportive, they'll just abandon it like they do.
That kind of reminds me. Do you remember like a year and a half to 2 years ago when like there was a bunch of games that were like asynchronous, like 4v1. Like there was Evolve, and there was that Fable Legends game.
What was the other game? The one where you're like a serial killer monster thing, and
that was well, right there, and then there's another one that's it's not 4v1, it's like 6v1. They're making the Friday the 13th game.
Yeah,
and then
what was that game called?
What was it? Where you were a serial killer monster?
Oh, Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight. Yeah, that was the other one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like
that was the hotness. Too.
I feel like that shit happened and died so fucking quick.
Yeah, because none of them were like good.
Yeah, like, I feel like none of them caught on. There, nothing got an audience, nothing, and it just kind of died.
It turns out that genre is really hard to get right, and for some reason, all of these developers are looking at each other and being like, "Oh, dude, we got to capitalize on this right now," not realizing that none of those games were very lucrative or successful.
Not only that, if you make like 4 of them at the same time, none of them has one. There's not one coalesced player base around all of them to kind of.
I mean, that's not even entirely true because PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds absolutely just fucking swept the Battle Royale market. Because you've got H1Z1 and you have, you know, Arma 3 mods and things like that. And this game comes in, it has 2 million concurrent players right now.
Did you see
the $30 price point, which is insane?
Did you see the stat? It was more. It was like one day. I don't remember. More people were watching people play.
It's absolutely
Battlegrounds than actually playing the game. I thought that was like the funniest thing. Which like that's not a bad thing, but don't get me wrong. But I just say
very entertaining to watch, and it has been a serious boon for a lot of Twitch streamers.
Yeah, I bet that's been a big thing for them in terms of Twitch added that new thing where it's like if you see somebody playing a game. Like on Twitch, you can just buy it there. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like there's a little button.
I'm sure that had a lot.
I'm sure that's got a big that's a key player in or not key player. What am I trying to say? A big piece of that.
Determinant.
Yeah, of that pie. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, speaking of games selling well, the best-selling games for April on PSN are out, and I don't know how closely you follow this stuff. I kind of look at it every month to see what's interesting. The only it's the normal like newcomers. It's Grand Theft Auto and Minecraft on there.
I cannot believe that GTA 5 is still out.
It's insane. It's insane. It's
like
it's at like 80 million.
Everyone that owns a gaming device should own it by now.
Yeah.
Yet it keeps selling. It's
insane. Yeah, but the only big new release was Persona 5, which obviously was #1 for the month.
Do you think we'll see a Persona 6 in the next couple of years, like we did with Persona 4?
Years? No. Maybe I don't know. My guess would be
Persona 3 and then Persona 4 were like same.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were the same engine, but I think that they could very easily make a Persona 6 for PS4.
Well, the thing, the lead designer, artist, and somebody else from Atlas have already talked about they're making another game, another JRPG called Project Refantasy or something like that. I think that's called. It's like really in early development. Like they talked about like we're making this game, but they haven't announced anything for it. But what I wouldn't be surprised for them to do is the same thing they did with Persona 4, where they have Persona 5 Arena Ultimax and Persona 5 Dancing and Persona 5 what you know what I'm saying? Like all these offshoot kind of games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that, and they make an anime, and they have Persona Q, what they did on 3DS. So like that would be what I kind of think is probably going to happen with Persona.
Milk it
as long as you can. Yeah, and then make Persona 6.
Extremely explicit.
Yeah, but I'm not a fighting game fan or anything by any means. But I think that Arena Ultimax game, like,
I would totally play that.
Pretty
I played
like
4, and it was fun because
they have like a canon story. I'm pretty sure, right?
They do. They have a story mode.
So like I don't know, that's pretty interesting. Also, Outlast 2.
Is that up? Oh wow.
Yeah, 8.
Surprising.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting because I feel like as opposed like however big Outlast was, I feel like Outlast 2 hasn't got the same kind of level of attention from a lot of people. Maybe it's just because it's coming out in a busy time, whereas Outlast
and it's just not very good.
Oh yeah, that might be a factor too.
It's not getting much press.
Yeah, I feel like the only thing I heard about it was when it was getting like part of it was being censored in Australia or something like that, and I was just like, but that's like the only thing I've really heard about it. So yeah, but those are, and then you got Grand Theft Auto, What else came out last month? Did Tom Clancy come out last month, or it came out the month before? It came out in March.
Yeah, I think it was March.
I could care less, but man, those games sell well. The Ubisoft
play with friends, man. Anything with multiplayer like that is gonna take off.
Yeah. Speaking of multiplayer, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe having great first sales week, with the fastest selling Mario Kart game ever, with almost 500,000 copies sold within the first week. Which, if you look at how many Switches there are, which is like 2.5 million, it means like 1 in 5 people bought Mario Kart that have a Switch, which is insane. Like for
is it though?
It is. Yes.
Because the Switch came out recently.
Yeah.
And there's Zelda, and then what else?
That's,
like, Mario Kart
fair.
comes out, and you're like, oh, well, I need to get Mario Kart because I need something to play.
That's true. I guess that's true.
Like, when you have a big console like that, and it's so popular, and everyone's playing it, and then you trickle games out that are, albeit very good.
Yeah.
Like, of course, the attach rate is going to be super high.
Maybe it is the trickle and the lack of like other third-party games to play on it to a degree. You're right.
Yeah, like there's Snipper Clips, Bomberman R, which not for everybody.
1-2 Switch.
And then like a couple of indie games, like Tumble Seed just came out.
Yeah.
But like Mario Kart, every fucking
Mario Kart's like a different league than all those games we just mentioned.
Yes.
The only reason
like, people didn't play it on Wii U, probably, they're like,
people didn't have a Wii U,
yeah. So
the only reason I bring this up is because last week Naughty Dog was talking about why they ported over the Uncharted collection, and during the PS2, Uncharted, the best-selling one was like 5 million, which means that 5 million out of 80 million people played Uncharted, which is like an insane, like compare this attach rate to that is just like, that's like 1 in 40 as opposed to, or 1 in 20 as opposed to 1 in 5, which is just like, I don't know, it just, for two big flagship series, it just shows like the kind of the resonance the Nintendo series have.
You also got to think about, Nintendo fans that were eager to get a Switch in the first place are gonna buy Mario Kart.
Yeah.
If the Switch were in stock and we were at like month 8 right now, and then Mario Kart came out, I think the attach rate would be a lot lower.
Yeah.
Because people, like the people who bought the Switch knew what was coming because they were informed. Otherwise, they wouldn't have bought it so soon.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's like the perfect storm for like high attach rates right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the two big games that came out for the Switch. You can play them on the go. You can play them online.
Yep.
And the people who own the Switch know what they're getting into. Whereas if it was like somebody getting it in like November or something, they'd have to be like weighing more options and maybe not as interested in Nintendo first party titles as like a Nintendo fan who's buying their new console.
Yeah, and they also don't deal with the problem of people just buying their hardware to play Call of Duty and Madden, which, don't get me wrong, the games are fine, but like people would just buy those two games every year or whatever and don't buy anything else. So like, but Nintendo people are buying these games for Nintendo software. So like,
well, it's funny because like you can be like have like a PS4 or a PC and be like argue either way. Like, well, I have this console or I have this PC, and I can get the same experiences pretty much of what AAA gaming is offering either way.
Yeah.
But Nintendo games aren't like that.
No.
Nintendo games, you have to have the Nintendo console, and there are no alternatives. Like, there is no game that is like Mario Kart 8. There is no game that is like Breath of the Wild right now.
No.
They are masterclass. Like,
and none of the games have this kind of heritage either. Like, nobody is Mario. Nobody is Zelda.
You can play Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed on Steam, but like, let's be honest. Yeah. You're not getting Mario Kart 8. So that is the draw for me to buy new Nintendo consoles. I did finally get a Switch, and I had already had Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart 8 for my Wii U, which I traded in like a fool. But honestly, it worked out because I get online with my friends on the Switch, and Breath of the Wild runs a lot better. It looks a lot better. I don't feel bad about it. I'm sure I'll get dozens of hours out of each of these games. So I'm happy. I mean, I'm really happy that Mario Kart is doing well. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like one more DLC pack for it, unless they're just going to go ahead and start working on 9 or whatever the next installment's going to be. Yeah, I'm sure they're already thinking about that because of how well it's doing. But I would like to see more DLC, more maps or something. It's already got the most out of any Mario Kart game. I think 64. So I'm not surprised it's doing so well. I'm happy for it. Honestly, I'm happy that Nintendo's finally getting a win after the Wii U, because frankly they needed one. Their video game department needed some encouragement, I think.
Yeah, no, it's certainly been a huge success for them. Speaking of huge successes for Nintendo, Zelda Breath of the Wild's first DLC, we kind of know what's going to be in it right now. So DLC 1, there's 2 DLCs coming out for it that you can only buy together for $20. And this one contains 4 pieces of content. The Trial of the Sword, which is you go through like a cave, and I guess you get an upgraded Master Sword and some other things. The hard mode, or 3 pieces of content, I guess. Oh no, 4. Hard mode, which I kind of feel like is a little BS that they're putting that behind a DLC thing, with where it makes there's what are they, boblins? I don't know how you say it. Whatever. Bokoblins? I don't know. Whatever. They regenerate health, their extra strength, just regular hard difficulty stuff, which I kind of feel like should be part of the game. And then the Korok mask, which vibrates whenever you buy a Korok seed, which is like actually kind of interesting. And then a bunch of other non-useful kind of like Tinkle's outfit and Majora's mask and stuff like that. And then the one I thought was super interesting is something called Hero's Path, which it like shows you where you've gone for at least the last 200 hours of your game.
Changes the fucking game,
honestly. Which like is like super, like a super fucking cool thing. Like, cause I'm obsessed with like stats in games. Like I love when I can open up like a page, like if I play The Witcher or something like that, and after 50 hours I can open up a page and see how many steps I've taken, or how many fucking how long my beard has grown and shit like that. So like I'm obsessed with like stuff like that. So this is like a really cool thing. Plus like on an additional, like you can figure out which shrines you haven't gone to by kind of like looking at like where your heat map is and stuff like that. So I feel like that's a really interesting thing. But how do you feel about the whole DLC for Zelda so far?
It's fine, but like all of this could have just been in like a patch.
Yeah.
Like none of this is worth $20, but I'm hoping what happens is this is just kind of like a holdover, and then the meat of the DLC will come
the second
later in the year when they do the second DLC.
Yeah.
When they're adding like a dungeon and like a quest line or whatever they're planning.
Yeah.
This, as far as I'm concerned, is just a patch. Like, I'm gonna buy the expansion pass because I love the fucking game, and Nintendo has goodwill for me for the most part.
Yeah.
So this is all just like extras. I don't consider this like the DLC, and I feel like a lot of people feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit of a letdown, but they did just say it was going to be like hard mode and some other things. They didn't really promise anything too extravagant for the first DLC. Yeah. The second one is upfront, like where the meat is in your expansion pass purchase.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think hard mode is going to be that great. It looks like it's just kind of like artificial difficulty right now.
You're playing it? You're playing it again, right? You just bought it again for.
Yeah.
Are you going to play it on hard mode?
I'm probably not going to.
No.
Because it just looks like everything's going to be a damage sponge, and the regenerating health is just going to make the durability like way more compoundedly bad. Like you're going to be like rushing and just feeling terrible if you can't down things fast enough, because then you're just wasting weapons even faster.
Yeah.
The only really cool thing is the floating platforms. That looks fucking cool. I wish they would just put that in normal mode though, because like it's such a cool like mechanic and such a cool thing to see in the overworld.
Yeah.
Did you mention the travel medallion?
Oh, I guess I didn't. Yeah, I'm just reading about that right now. That's you can put down like a fast travel point somewhere.
Yeah, wherever you want. So that's awesome. That's like cool. You can put it like at the top of a mountain, like snowboard down over and over if you wanted.
Yeah. Oh well, I didn't even think. I was just thinking from like a utility standpoint, but yeah, that would actually be pretty cool.
Put it near they got it near a cooking pot here. That's useful.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Korok mask's cool. The Phantom armor looks sick. I mean, but that's all just cosmetic stuff. As far as
that's all. That all like the Korok one is at least like kind of not kind of useful. It's useful. Yeah.
But it's cool. It's a nice little holdover, but I don't think it should be. I don't think you should need to pay for all this. This should have just been like
besides that first thing where it's like the trial, what's the Trial of the Sword?
Oh, I forgot all about that. You know what? Maybe the Trial of the Sword is neat, but
that's a neat. Is it worth the whole thing, or like should the other stuff be free to everybody? Kind of, yeah, probably.
At least the Hero's Pass should be free. Like that has no reason to be behind a DLC wall. That's like a basic quality of life function that every player should be able to enjoy.
Yeah.
And to put a very useful mechanic like that behind a paywall is a little silly. But I have a hard time thinking a lot of people won't just buy the expansion pass. So I mean, is it worth it right now? Probably not. Will it be when the second DLC comes out? I'm sure it will be. Nintendo's been very good about their pricing. I think the Mario Kart 8
the Mario Kart DLC was like fantastic.
24 tracks for $12.
Yeah, which the game shipped with like how many tracks? Like 30 something, right? I'm not mistaken.
Whatever, 64
minus. It was like a hefty portion.
It was like it was like a fourth of the game's content for $12.
Yeah.
It was 50 cents a track, basically. It was fucking bananas.
Which, so definitely a deal.
I have no doubt that this will end up being worth it when all is said and done. I'm gonna buy it. I mean, I love the game. It's worth it as far as I can tell. But yeah, time will tell. I hope that the second DLC is hefty and has some cool stuff to offer. So I'm excited to see.
I agree. Speaking of money.
Is every transition going to be speaking of?
Yeah, that's my transition. I try. I had one when you said paywall. I was gonna like speaking of things that are monetized, but then I gave up. So apparently YouTubers are having a hard time monetizing content based around Call of Duty World War II. Because if you remember back a couple months now with the whole PewDiePie stuff. Apparently, a bunch of advertisers didn't like that, and YouTube kind of cracked down on their advertiser-friendly content videos that they've been going on about. As far as like anything related to political content would not be considered advertiser-friendly, or a lot of violent videos are not advertiser-friendly. Whereas in the past they had been. So it's like hurting a lot of like YouTubers who like specifically target Call of Duty audiences. It's hurting kind of their AdSense kind of monetization on their videos. So I want to know like kind of how do you feel generally about the YouTube like kind of circus kind of thing we're in right now? Because like right now it seems like YouTube's kind of in limbo with a lot of channels.
Yeah.
Or how much you care.
It all really came up with that PewDiePie statement. Like it seems like every advertiser's like, I don't know, they all freaked out and were like, oh god, we have to start pulling immediately. And it's their right to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I look at it two ways. Like advertisers can risk basically like missing out on hundreds of thousands, if not millions of,
millions of people. If they pull their stuff off of these videos, mm-hmm.
just so that they're not associated with gore or like Nazis or World War II in general.
Yeah.
I think it's more silly to do it for the reason of the content being displayed than the YouTubers' etiquette about things. Like, YouTubers like straight up, slandering people or using hate speech or whatever, unironically at least. Not that
mm-hmm.
makes it okay, but then I understand more that the advertiser would want to not be associated with them. But to just completely like rule out media itself based on its content that is being marketed to millions of people as like an
mm-hmm.
everyday thing, and even has commercials on TV and stuff. Like, I don't really understand what the fear is there for them. Like, are they worried that if I see an Allstate commercial on a Call of Duty World War II video that I'm going to think Allstate is like condoning like violence or something? Like, I don't understand what they're afraid of as far as that goes.
Well, we all know the progressive lady Flo is a fascist, so we have to make sure we keep her in check. But
you're not wrong about that.
But like I see it from both ways. Like where it sucks. Like if you legitimately are just making Call of Duty Let's Plays, or if you are legitimately talking about politics, even politics I don't agree with, but just in a respectful way that's not like you're not fucking a racist person or something like this. This stuff sucks, and it sucks, but on the same like that's the problem you have with building your business on top of another business, where at any second like they can just kind of take the rug out from under you. Yeah. So like, I feel like
I'm looking at the thumbnail for this video that is posted by this guy Prestige is key, I guess, one of the people affected.
Mm-hmm.
And the flagged video is called World War II Zombies 100% confirmed in all caps, parentheses, horrifying story, parentheses. And when I see something like that, and I'm just like, okay, this is designed to get as many clicks as possible.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You're not in this to like be a passionate, like maybe he is an extremely passionate Call of Duty content creator, but at the same time, yes, you have built your business upon getting clicks on YouTube and getting ad revenue from, you know, probably like children. It's like those toy unboxing videos almost.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But like for Call of Duty, like it's just it's the same marketing tactics that like those use to just like get you to click it, like get like, you know, the you know, probably a bunch of, you know, prepubescent boys to like click your video just to get the ad revenue. And yeah, when you build your business on that and like anything can happen and it's a turbulent market, I don't really know what to say. Like yeah, that can happen, and yeah, the market's kind of going through some growing pains right now with advertisers kind of freaking out. So like, not that I don't sympathize with those people, but at the same time,
and I'm sure there are good people that are just like they got caught in the fucking crossfire with this shit, and like, but like I feel like because of that, you're gonna start seeing more either sponsored content with some videos where like they might do an ad read before it, or they might like have product placement or something like that in a video, or make a video specifically. Like, because like the morality of and ethics in YouTube videos is not all the way there in a lot of cases. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these creators see their revenue plummeting and they just start making videos, like, because it happens where publishers will just reach out to YouTube people and just be like, hey, will you highlight our game? We'll give you some cash. Don't say anything negative about it. Like, that stuff happens. So like, I could see more stuff like that, and I can also see more crowdfunding stuff pop up from people with like pretty large followings, like stuff on Patreon and Kickstarter.
The way I see it is, if you are a passionate content creator on YouTube or Twitch or whatever, generally those people have Patreons because they know that the market is not, they should not be basing all of their revenue on ads. That's just not sustainable. And and the, you know, like Danny O'Dwyer's Patreon doing very well. And NoClip is doing very well because he knows how to market himself and how to market his content and really make it 110% and not have the ad revenue be the whole story. And so people who really like, and I hate to say this, but like, give a shit about quality content and like what they're doing and want it to be their livelihood, have a backup plan, like have Twitch subscribe.
YouTube shouldn't be your primary income source if you're trying to make this like a career kind of thing.
Or they're sponsored. You know, a lot of these people have sponsors that, you know, hook
you get
them
a
up
cool
with,
gaming chair or something like that.
Yeah, the content. And I have no problem with promoted content as long as
it's very clearly kind of laid out. Yep.
Yeah, like labeled in the video title. Otherwise, it just looks scummy. Like even if the deal was totally clean and it's like, you can say negative things, we just want the publicity, you should still,
at the beginning of the video, you should be like, yo, just Ubisoft paid me to talk about Watch Dogs 2. I hated it, like, but I'm still getting paid by them to talk about Watch Dogs 2.
Respect your viewers.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, that's, I think that should be rule number one for all content creators, is just respect your viewers, know your audience. And honestly, I just see this and I'm just looking at this and it just feels like a lot of, you know, clickbait artists are like getting mad because advertisers aren't, you know, subscribing to their channels anymore. And, you know, I feel bad. It's a business, I guess, but that's just how they probably see it too. Is it's just business, not.
Yeah, I don't know, but
that's just
speaking of business. Bethesda is using their trademark for the Prey series to this Kickstarter game. It's called Pray for the Gods. Well, it was called Play for the Gods. Got a cease and desist from Bethesda. Because I guess they own the trademark to the title,
actually,
or ZeniMax, I guess, they own the title Prey in regards to like the video game space and everything, and I guess they just weren't happy with this Pray to the God or Pray for the Gods.
Wanted to throw their weight around.
Yeah, basically, so the game has now changed its name to Pray for the Gods with an
Pray.
Pray for the Gods, which I honestly feel like if this hadn't happened, I wouldn't know about this game. So I feel like this is like a shrewd marketing ploy by these people. Good for them that they've done this now. Because number one, I feel like that's bullshit. Why do they have to change their name? Their name's not even that fucking close. Like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
But like, and this game actually doesn't look terrible from like the stuff I watched from it. It looks like a Shadow of the Colossus kind of knockoff kind of game. So yeah, maybe this has definitely got my attention. So like, I feel like it's a to a degree it's a win-win for them because I'm sure they didn't want to change the name of their game, but like the exposure of your game right now is gonna in the future it's gonna be way more important. I feel like than what your actual name of your game was.
Here's a quote from ZeniMax. We really didn't have much of a choice. If we don't oppose the mark, we risk losing our Prey trademark, and that isn't acceptable. Unfortunately, that's how trademark law works.
Want to be clear, not how trademark law works.
Not at all.
Not in any way.
So basically, they're afraid that if they don't come at this small team of 3 developers and force them to change the name, then somehow bigger software firm is going to come after them and get the Prey IP. I don't understand what they mean by this. And basically, this is just covering their asses for being complete, dickheads about the whole thing.
Yeah. Basically.
It makes no sense. And the game is like not in early development. It's like almost ready to launch.
Yep.
It's been in, Kickstarter since 2015.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much their Kickstarter raised. I think it wasn't like that much. Like it was a lot of money, obviously, because they made a game, but like it wasn't like absurd, like Double Fine money or anything, or like Shenmue 3 kind of money. So it's not like So
it's a shame, and it's gonna be a real pain to like Google and search, and it might expose it to people like us who read headlines about this kind of thing, but the average consumer is not gonna.
I suppose.
You're not gonna like look at that and they're just gonna look at it and be like, did they misspell this on the Steam page? Like that would be my first thought. Is like, why is there a fucking A in this title? Yeah. And I thought about interesting ways that they could also make it Pray for the Gods, like PRA long mark above the A or something like something. They can make it
PR4Y the Gods, but
it's the 4th game in the series, but also the only game in the series.
Well, sequels do sell better, so that might help them.
It's true
in that regard. But speaking of Prey. You're playing Prey right now.
Yeah. And,
how far are you?
Let me see. I'm probably like a 4th of the way through the game.
Okay, and you're playing it on PS4?
Yeah.
Okay. What are the base reactions?
I played the demo, and I kind of hated it. Like, it was really pretty, and it was really well done, but the controls were fucked up in the demo. There was a lot of input lag on just PS4. And they had said on the subreddit, hey, we fixed this in the final release. And I was just kind of like thinking to myself, that's probably bullshit.
Yeah.
But I bought it because, like I said, I traded in Breath of the Wild Mario Kart 8, and I did it at GameStop, unfortunately. But instead of just getting back, 30% of that in cash, I put it towards a game and got $5 back after buying Prey. So I was like, why not? It's actually really good, though. And the final release did fix the control problems. It feels very, very tight to play.
Yeah.
Is it like Titanfall 2? No. But I mean, it's very good. It's
compare it to Dishonored, because I don't think they run on the same engine or anything. But like
they kind of do, but it doesn't run shitty.
Okay.
So I don't know what. Actually, I'm sorry. They don't run on the same engine. I think this runs on an earlier build of. See, I don't even want to say. I'm not even entirely sure. I don't think it's the exact engine as Dishonored 2, though.
Yeah, I was not. I love Dishonored 2. Love Dishonored 2. Love the first Dishonored. Loved Wolfenstein. But those games, I don't know. For some reason, they don't always feel for first-person games. It's kind of just all the Bethesda games in general. I don't know if they use like an in-house engine or anything like that, but they kind of just feel a little stiff, a little like not as pristine as something. Yeah, like you said, Titanfall 2 or Call of Duty. They just don't have that level of polish, I feel like, in the gameplay. But if you're saying Prey is a little different, that's actually a thing.
Prey feels better than Dishonored 2 for sure.
Yeah.
So it is tighter to aim and move around. The stickiness feature that they put in Dishonored 2 on the controls for some reason is not there.
Mm-hmm.
Sensitivity feels good default wise on a controller. The PC version I've heard runs extremely well.
Yeah, which
Very
is
well
good because
optimized.
Dishonored 2 like ran like shit on PC
Yeah,
for the when
this
it first
is not
came
the
out.
same version. It's CryEngine. It's their
Okay.
in-house, but it's not the same as the Dishonored 2 CryEngine
Okay,
version.
cool.
So, I don't know why they didn't have a PC demo. I feel like they lost a lot of goodwill there. It's not selling well, which is surprising to no one, because the marketing just I don't feel like was very strong, and also the PC demo not being around, and the demo for PS4 being fucked up. I don't know what they were expecting there. It's probably going to be really slept on. It feels a lot like System Shock.
Or wait,
the
yeah,
RPG
BioShock kind of.
elements-
BioShock in space is kind of the tagline I
BioShock
keep hearing.
so System Shock, in case people think we're not joking about that. But yeah, it has a lot of those cool like powers, and you can upgrade your character in a lot of different trees, which affects the way that you play and get around the station. It's very open-ended, the station. So like I realized today I was playing around, and you can go outside the station and like float around in space, and it feels really fun and cool to do. And there are airlocks all over the ship that you can get into different parts of the station from, but you have to unlock them from the inside. So once you unlock them from the inside, you can go outside, and it's kind of like a faux fast travel system. You can like just be like, oh, I'm gonna pop over to the other end of the station, go in the airlock, and be super far away from where I was internally. So that's really cool. It has a lot of really cool design choices in the levels. Yeah, I would say my first impressions are really good. I'm enjoying
That's good.
it.
I want to play it. It's kind of it's at the tail end of this like crazy first into the second quarter we've been having.
Yeah.
And then I also just kind of switched, so like I'm just now diving into Zelda, so like that's gonna take up some time.
I would wait. I mean, it's worth playing for sure. It's pretty long. I've heard it's like 20 hours average playthrough, so probably worth the cash, but definitely wouldn't hurt to wait.
Yeah. And yeah, but the thing that's really been distracting me is Mario Kart. And we've been playing that a little bit together, and it's fucking
a lot of it.
The game is so good. It's so fun. It is just pure fun. Like there is nothing like and it's the perfect amount of like drop in, drop out kind of fun where I constantly feel like I'm like upgrading stuff, I'm unlocking new carts and stuff like that.
Yep.
But I'm never like forced to just grind out stuff. Like it always just feels organic and like natural. Like whenever I'm doing anything. And I've had a few problems with online stuff where I'll get disconnected from games every now and then, or I've had it crash on me like 1 or 2 times, which is kind of annoying. But like at the same time, it's just so much fun. Like I've never had this much fun with a kart racer, I don't think. And like I will go on record as saying, having not played any of the handheld ones or the Wii one that much, it's by far my favorite Mario Kart.
I would say Mario Kart 8 is probably in my top 20 games.
Yeah.
Like ever. And I played it on Wii U a lot. I played online with a few communities. I played 200cc for a long time. But yeah, it's like I still learn new things. I still am like, wow, I never knew I could take this route, or where should I start this turn to really get around this corner the best? And you're always optimizing your route.
Mm-hmm.
And it has just the right amount of bullshit to where anybody can win, but also skill is important. But it's not like the end all be all of winning and losing. It's not as frustrating to lose in Mario Kart because you know that you can at least be like, oh, it wasn't all my fault.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it does super well, and that's why it hooks people like it does.
That's the thing when Mario Kart, wherever you're placing, I feel like you place in brackets. Kind of, you can be middle of the pack, you can be like bottom of the pack, or you can be top of the pack. Where you finish within those brackets kind of depends on like what happens during the race. But you can consistently get kind of a place where you're feeling it, but not exactly like you're not finishing first every time. You might finish third every once in a while or fourth. But like you're never finishing 12th if you know what you're doing. Or you might be middle of the road, but you're not, you know what I'm saying? Like it just feels like every now and then you do something just catastrophic happens. So like I shouldn't say that.
The double item boxes and the double items changed the game for the better, I think. It's way more balanced now. Because even in first, like it used to be like, get a coin, get a coin, get a coin, get hit by red shell. Okay, you're in fourth. But now, if you pick up a double item box in first place, you're guaranteed a defensive item.
Yeah.
So you at least have some protection from whatever bullshit is coming at you.
And that's the other thing. And having not played the Wii U version, when it launched, so it launched with how many tracks is in this? With, I think it's 8 times
4 for the.
Is it 8
Wii
or
U
is
version.
it 10 times 4? Is it 40? I don't know. It's a lot of tracks, and so I kind of, because it is a party game and because I'm having fun with it, I never feel like I'm getting the same track over and over and over again. Like, there are tracks I enjoy more than others, but like it's never like to the point where it's like I'm just constantly playing the same courses and I know them to like the back of my hand, which I think is good for a party game, because I'm never like people that don't play it enough are never like totally out of the loop, because even though I play it a bunch, like I don't know every secret and shortcut to everything.
There's still 3 or 4 tracks that I have not played on the Switch version, and I've put in probably like 12 hours.
Yeah, same boat.
So.
Speaking of other stuff I played because I needed to transition there. Started playing Zelda last night. I played it for about hour and a half, 2 hours. It was fun. I just got off the Great Plateau. Everybody says that's when it gets good.
Yeah.
That's when you leave.
Well, it gets better, I think. I think
it's when you leave that. I thought that was fine. Yeah, I don't. Was I supposed to get clothes on the Great Plateau? I
you
didn't
could get
clothes.
pants.
He was a real
pants.
cold naked boy when I was running around in the ice caps.
You have an opportunity to buy armor at the first village you come to.
Okay, because I just got there and saved it when I stopped last night. But yeah, I couldn't figure out how to, because I knew if you like held a weapon that's on fire, it can warm you up.
Yeah. Yep.
But I didn't do that, so I was trying to eat a bunch of hot peppers because I thought that would do it, but that didn't do anything.
You can cook them, and then it gives you a
I didn't do
boost.
that, so maybe I should try that. But yeah, I'm
Zelda
having fun with it.
is basically like your ability to make your own fun
Mm-hmm.
is like directly correlated to how much you enjoy Breath of the Wild. Because like me personally, I'm playing the game for the second time now, and I'm extremely engaged.
Yeah.
Because I just see something and I'm like, I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna go check it out. And it's always interesting. It's always something cool. It's, be it a shrine or like a Korok seed or whatever, it's all useful to your progression as a character.
How is that for you? Because the shrines they're like the puzzles and kind of the dungeons in this game. So are like retreading through them. Do you like knowing the answer to, I guess I would say, most of them? How is that? Is it still fun? Or
I thought that was gonna really turn me off. Like just thinking about that, I was like, oh, it's gonna suck. But honestly, like there are so many of them and they're so diverse that I'm still like, this is cool. Like it's so fun to like fuck around with the physics and like try to find bullshit solutions to like what is a very obviously easy problem. That I've had a ton of fun just like trying to like break them or like blasting through them at like light speed. Like I know that there's tons of ways to solve each one, at least most of them. Like there's one with like a puzzle ball that you have to like navigate a ball through a puzzle using the gyro
that's the one where you
controls.
flip it over, right?
Yeah, and I was like, fuck this, and I flipped it over and it's flat on the bottom, and you can just flip it up with that, and it's like takes a second. So just shit like that makes the shrines like pretty replayable, surprisingly. But mostly just exploring the world. Like I'm finding new things. I found shrines that I never did before. Even now, just with a fresh set of eyes, going back through the game in a different order.
Yeah.
It's been really awesome, and I hope it really, really grabs you, because I think around Kakariko Village is when I started to get really, really enthralled, I think.
Yeah, and the fact that it is portable is like a big, like that's gonna be super nice for me. I feel like.
Yeah.
In the way that I get into portable games, like a lot more so than I do feel like with especially game like, because Zelda, like I don't know how great the story is. It was actually pretty interesting from the beginning part, but I don't know how much that fades away during the middle parts of it. But like where I don't have to pay attention to it that much, and I can kind of just have something playing on the TV in the background.
Yeah, that's
and
it's
I
the
like
perfect
and
game
it
for
like
that.
and it, like it. I don't feel like it doesn't have that much music going on where I need to be focused on that, or like they're like the wildlife sounds are nice and all that, but like I don't. This isn't what I need to be focusing on. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. The sound design is great, but yeah, it's definitely a game where you could like listen to a podcast or have a stream on in the background or something, and just kind of like, because the story beats are when you want them to be.
Yeah.
You'll be like, I'm gonna go do a divine beast now. I'm gonna pay attention, or I'm just gonna explore the countryside, and find shit out here.
Yep.
It's a great game. I love it. It's up there for me this year for sure.
Yeah. And then you also played Little Nightmares, right? That's the
Yep, I beat that
indie game. Is it on? It's just on PS4. Or is it on PC too?
It's on PC.
Okay.
And Xbox One.
Oh, and on Xbox. All right. Oh yeah. Well.
Yep.
So I've seen. Do you think that's a game that could come to Switch?
I don't see why not. I mean, Switch is not hard. I mean, it's not hard to port to compared to like the Wii U.
Yeah, I feel like
so.
With just like it was with Vita, I was like the super like evangelist for like I'll wait till it comes to Vita, or like with every indie game. With Shovel Knight, I did that with what's the Metroidvania one?
Hollow Knight?
Not Hollow Knight. What's his name? The one dude made it. Oh man. And it's Axiom Verge. Wait till that comes to Vita.
Oh, okay.
And just kind of with all these like kind of indie games, and I feel like the Switch, I don't know, because you never got a Vita or anything like that. I feel like you're gonna have this experience at some point where you're gonna be playing a game and be like, man, I want this to be on fucking Vita, because and like you feel like it can be. I feel that's the way with Persona whenever I play Persona too, because I played that.
Yeah.
I played 4 on Vita, so I want Persona 5 on Vita. Which I mean, it's great on PS4. Don't get me wrong, I still love it, but like, I don't know. I just feel like Little Nightmares maybe is something that could definitely be on that system.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah,
I mean,
tell me what you thought about it.
It's really good. It's not that long. I don't know what it would benefit from really being handheld. It's a game that you can sit down and just beat in like a night. And I think
Okay.
that's the best way to experience it. The art design is fantastic. Like some of the best I've seen, I think. Some of the guys from Media Molecule worked on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really fun. The narrative is fine, but what really shines is the world that it builds.
Yeah.
The environments and just the attention to detail and like the physics. Like I spent forever just picking shit up and throwing it because everything acts exactly like you would expect it to. Does it really complement the gameplay that much? Not really, but like it's nice to pick up like a bar of soap and throw it on like a wet floor and watch it like slide like kind of weightily. Like it's just that kind of shit I just love. So I really enjoyed that. The sounds are fantastic. Knocking over pots and things sounds really, really good. The pitter patter of your feet on like tile floors and things sounds good. The enemy design is spot on. It's horrifying. The game itself is scary in parts, but I think it's mostly just melancholy in tone. The complaints I have would be the checkpoint system is extremely inconsistent.
Yeah.
So like I'll do a part that takes 5 minutes and is tough, fail it and get sent back way before you would expect. Like an Inside nailed it because an Inside every time you overcame a challenge, they didn't expect you to do that challenge again because that's not what the game is about. Little Nightmares will very inconsistently tell you, okay, you've demonstrated that you can do this part before this other thing, but you're going to need to do that again before you can attempt the next thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I know what you're saying.
And it's always the most mundane shit, like running through a room or hiding from an enemy for just a few seconds. But it's just very annoying when you're doing it.
When you have to do it 3 or 4 times, it becomes like...
Yeah, and the camera angle does not complement the platforming very well in some... Because the perspective just is a little fucked up, and then you'll just think you're jumping onto something, and you're jumping like 3 feet to the left of it. That gets a little... But other than that, other than those minor complaints, I would recommend it. Maybe on sale. Maybe like it goes $10 or $15 totally. 20 is a little steep. But then again, I think Inside was worth every penny. Inside's like one of my favorite games.
Yeah, Inside is fantastic.
But Little Nightmares is, if you liked Inside, you would like this for sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I knew it has that like macabre kind of tone to it, but I just didn't know. Yeah, it seems like it succeeded in a lot of ways.
It's very good.
So yeah, now we're gonna move on to the topic of the week because we talked about kind of what games we've been playing, but the other game we both played and finished was What Remains of Edith Finch. And I kind of wanted to get a full like story kind of spoiler discussion going on with that. I know we've talked about it a little bit, and we both are super like I think I'm higher on it than you might be, but like, I was very super into this game, and I feel like it's definitely with everything I played so far with Horizon I've played and Persona I've sunk enough time into where I see it succeeding in like everything it's doing. I still think this is like up there for me with games I played this year.
Okay.
And Resident Evil and all that stuff. But I don't know how you're feeling about it. I don't think you're that high on it, but like I think you really liked it.
I did. I liked it. So Edith Finch, for those of you who don't know, is basically a walking simulator. It's made by the people who made The Unfinished Swan.
Giant Sparrow.
Giant Sparrow developer.
Say my name.
You play as a girl who is about 17 years old, retreading her old childhood home where her whole family has lived. And her family is supposedly affected by some kind of curse that kills them all, before their time. Yeah. So they're all dying in mysterious ways, or just, in unfortunate accidents. And the game basically has you going from room to room, learning about each family member, and kind of walking in their shoes up until the. So that I thought I heard that and I was like, that's fucking awesome. So like that was very, very well done for me. I loved something about playing a person's final moments really tells you a lot about them without needing to take much time to do it.
Yep.
So like that was very, very well done. Like you can pack a lot of character into a little time frame by doing that. The couple problems that I had with the game, right off the bat, I noticed that it wasn't running very well on PS4.
It didn't. It's specifically in the very first section when you're walking through that wooded area. It's
not
like
a good look.
The worst part of like in my experience.
Yes.
With the frame rate kind of issues.
Very much in the first part, and then it kind of evens out, but it definitely was noticeable, and I was definitely like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like at least like put a little more polish on the frame rate right there. Just in that like that first impression was just could have been better.
Yeah.
Also, sometimes you're interacting with things using the joysticks. Sometimes I would be like, all right, cool, open in this thing, and I'd push a joystick the way that I thought I was meant to do it, and I would just completely go backwards and undo something that I just done. It just sometimes the controls weren't communicated to me very well. That might just be me though. Like I would think I was supposed to push on something and I was supposed to pull on it.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, and it just reminded me that this is a video, which is not something you want in a game that's so narrative focused. But I liked it. The story was cool. I guess we'll get into like spoilers.
Yeah, this is all right. So yeah, if you're listening out there, this is the time. If you don't want spoilers, kind of back away. So, let's just start it. Who were your favorite like short stories?
For sure, the baby.
Yeah, Gregory.
Gregory.
Yeah.
Was fucking tearjerker.
Yeah.
So Gregory drowns in the bathtub because his mom's fucking irresponsible and walks away on a phone call.
Yeah.
Which is stupid.
You're fool.
But that one had me kind of choked up a little bit. They made it so sad by making it so happy. So that I thought was extremely well done. The little boy with the kite at the wedding, very
Sam,
cool.
Right? Yeah.
I think so. Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, and the fish guy, the fucking salmon canning guy, probably the best one, honestly.
Oh, the in the bomb shelter or whatever.
Where he the psychedelic.
Oh, Lewis.
Yeah,
He was my favorite. Yeah, for sure.
Very well done.
That one was very
gameplay
cool.
Wise too.
Yeah, gameplay wise, and that's the thing. Before you called it a walking simulator, and yeah, it totally is. Like it's that genre, but I feel like it uses gameplay in ways to tell this story that are very unique to the medium.
Yes,
where it does that, and it makes it like a Fallout 1 or 2 kind of style, just like adventure kind of thing you're going on. Or with specifically the one I really liked. Whereas I didn't like the character that much, not like for any like emotional reason, but I just didn't like them that much, was the dad that takes his daughter hunting. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that character that much, but the gameplay element that they used to tell his story, the whole time I was like, oh, this is really cool. Yeah. Where you're taking everything, you're taking the pictures and everything. And
I'll give it to Giant Sparrow. They've always been very good at balancing gameplay with narrative.
Yeah.
Like Unfinished Swan was awesome for that. I see that as a pretty traditional game just because of the interactiveness of the world.
Yeah.
So it definitely had some cool twists on the gameplay. probably, I don't know, for me, just could have used a little more polish in some places. Just little minor things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that it needed an entire fucking. I kind of laughed. That entire room, that entire like tower dedicated to the Unfinished Swan. I was like, you guys have one other game. You're not like some tour de force fucking developer that needs to do these huge callbacks. Like, it was cool, but I was like, this just feels a little self-indulgent.
No, I loved it. I thought it was awesome. The music started playing, and like it was the color scheme was all. I was like, oh, this is so
It was
cool.
cool
I was, like,
looking.
I was freaking out while it was happening.
It just kind of left a bad taste in my mouth.
I also really liked Barbara. She was the comic.
Oh
one.
yeah,
that
Barbara.
one I thought was really fucking cool.
Very cool.
Because like that was like the very beginning, where it was like right after you do Molly's story where you're like transforming into all the animals or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh, okay, I see where this is gonna go. I'm gonna have to 3D explore all these things, but then immediately it takes a sharp turn, and you're doing a comic book, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
The one I kind of felt like was the shittiest was the swing set guy. I can't remember.
I thought that was cool, but yeah, probably it wasn't supposed to be some big long thing.
Yeah, I guess not, but I don't know. I just wasn't too
I
into
thought the
that.
mechanics of it were neat, at least.
Yeah,
I kept fucking up my legs and like twisting the ropes up, so it was very realistic.
To how you actually swing.
Yes, like a dumbass who fucks it up constantly.
But the overarching story with the conflict between man, what was her name? Dawn, was that the mom's name?
Yeah, Edith's mom
and
her
Edie.
grandma.
I thought I was like super satisfied with how that all resolved itself.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
how like they just and it kind of it harkens back to, I don't know, like we're both from the Midwest, and kind of just the way elders are kind of like, to a certain degree, like they are wrong about a lot of stuff. Like their family probably wasn't cursed. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
But like just like, but like the non-reverence for like their kind of mythos and stuff like that, I felt was like super interesting in the way they took that, with them kind of like them leaving the house, and then their grandma dies because their family was so important to her, is how, at least how I took it, was like she didn't know. I kind of like when your like wife dies and then you die, like
yeah,
I felt like that was like a big thing, whereas the mom didn't kind of feel this way about the family, who then later when she dies, it leaves Edith all alone, who then dies giving birth. I took that as giving birth.
Yes, very.
Like, I feel like that's what it was, but like,
yeah, very clearly.
Yeah, but like I saw some like chatter on the internet that was like maybe it was her like having like some other kind of thing. I don't know, but I thought it was her giving birth.
It was very obvious.
And if you go back and look at the first segment, it's not her. It's another person with like a cast on their arm to like differentiate them. From, like, the person going on the boat is not the same person you end up with at the like very. Does that make sense? It's actually her kid, and so I felt like and then with the whole like kind of, you're playing through everybody's story throughout the game, but overarching you're playing through Edith's story of her final kind of time
very cool
on the Earth, which I thought was super super interesting and like a really awesome way to do that in general.
Yep.
But yeah, like I would, like, before this, my game of the year is probably Horizon.
Really?
And yeah,
not my first pick, but that's
was probably Horizon. If I had to just say it out loud, it was probably Horizon. Though I haven't finished Persona, but
yeah,
I'm 30 hours into Persona. I know what it's doing, and it does it fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know if it's gonna surpass Horizon. But like this might, I don't know how I'll feel about it later on, but it might be. It's definitely up there in that conversation, maybe passing Horizon, in my opinion.
Okay. It's not
take
on my radar for top game this year, but it was good. Not my cup of tea. I'm not the biggest into those kind of games, but I do like playing them.
I'm like a sucker for those kind of games for sure, and
right.
like kind of narrative adventure kind of stuff, and just this, the way it, and like I felt so like, that's why I wanted you to play it so bad, was the way it used gameplay mechanics to tell a story. I thought was super super good and super interesting.
I agree. It was very good for that.
But yeah, that's it. that's Edith Finch. What we thought about it. And yeah, do you have anything else you want to talk about? Say or
Pretty excited to get back into Prey tonight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna truck through that and hopefully it stays good. I usually don't buy games before reviews come out. Not that that's the end all be all, but
Mhm.
I kind of just did it. So
Yeah.
I'm not regretting that purchase at all.
Yeah.
We should play some Mario Kart later.
Yeah, no, I'll hop on.
Always a good time.
I wanna mess around with Zelda some more. I think what I'm gonna do is after today only play the Switch as a portable and try to, because I like since I got it a week ago, all I've done is play Kart and Zelda last night, and
Yeah.
like it's put my Persona progress on hold.
So you're just gonna like bar yourself.
I want to try to like think of it more as a handheld. That way I can play Persona whenever I like, because like Kart is so, it's so easy just to be like, I got a half hour, why not? Kind of type stuff, and Persona, like while some portions of it lead into that, where either you have a free few days, like I can sleep this up in 15 minutes. Some of it's like you're in it for 2 hours, kind of type situation.
Yep.
So
it's like hard to like know.
Yeah.
Like I'll get invited to a multiplayer game and I'm like, sorry,
Yeah.
who knows how fucking long this cutscene is gonna go or whatever. So you're in it. You're buckled up.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of gonna be my thing. Going forward. Either way, this has been the music podcast, or not a music podcast.
Close enough.
Video game podcast without a name, with your boy. What do you want me to call you? Do you still want
Just David? No, I'm
David?
good with David, dude. Too late.
Mr. David, and me, and my name is Charles. And thank you for listening. We are on Stitcher. And what are the other podcast services that I'm making fun of right now?
We're sponsored by Squarespace
Squarespace, Build It Beautiful,
and
Casper Mattresses.
Blue Apron.
Yeah.
Don't
So
forget
it's
Blue Apron.
it's been cool talking to you guys. This has been fun. We will see you next week.
Peace out.
Peace.